Today we'll be using Tobe as a classical example of what not to do in a chess game. I want to show you guys what Tobe played against Vega still yesterday. The same caro-kann defense advanced variation. So Tobe lost this game by move 3. This is first move, G6. Who does this? Like exactly like for what reason? Why are you opening with G6 when you see that White has already advanced his pieces? Right? Why opening with G6? Okay, I would assume that maybe he was planning to, and it will be wrong. It will even still be wrong. I would assume that maybe he was planning to get the bishop out or an exchange, right? And exchange maybe for faster development. I would assume, but this does not mean it is not wrong. White is still leading, right? I would assume that this was what he was trying to achieve, but this was not in any way close to what he was trying to achieve. This was not what he was trying to achieve. Let me show you what Tobe was trying to achieve. When Tobe played G6, okay, and Vega responded with knight to C3, okay, Tobe decided to play bishop to F5. Who does this? Who does this? What does bishop to F5 achieve for you? Okay, there's nothing, absolutely nothing. It achieves nothing. You have already messed up your position because no matter what, G4 is the best move, and this was the exact move Vega played. What does G4 do? G4 tries to trap the knight. If the knight becomes greedy and decides to come here, then try to attack the rook. To try to attack the rook, right? Because two things, there are two moves or three moves. There are, okay, let me say there are multiple moves you could make here, and only two make sense. The best move to make in this situation is to retreat your knight to d7, right? I mean your bishop to d7 rather, and anticipate whatsoever to be Vega plays next, right? And retreat your bishop to d7 and anticipate whatsoever to be plays next. Or you could decide to return your bishop completely to c8. You could decide to return your bishop completely to c8. This will be a much better option than what Tobe did. What did Tobe do from this instance? Tobe became greedy and he played bishop to e4. This is a completely losing move. From here, I would have resigned because that is the most honorable thing to do. If you do not resign, the death will be slow, it will be painful, and it will be excruciating. So Tobe refused. Instead, he continued after he noticed his piece was trapped. What did he do when he noticed? Okay, go down fighting, at least, the very least, take a pawn, right? Take a pawn. Go down fighting, take a pawn. Instead, he decided to play bishop to g7. Now he's playing bishop to g7 that he was supposed to play as move 2. But that was not even, if he had at least captured the pawn, he will still lose. There's nothing, he will still lose. At least he will be losing with at least he will know that at least he has a pawn as a compensation, right? But instead he just gave up the bishop without any fight, and Vega decided to pounce on it. Now, for Vega, this is like there is a pawn. Like, am I the only one seeing this pawn? There's a pawn sitting here, and the knight has every reason to pick. There's no threat anywhere. Okay, you have every reason to pick your pawn, and even if black decides to, um, sorry, even if black decides to maybe surprise you with an attack and all that, you you can still defend quite comfortably and continue your game. There's nothing going on here. There's absolutely nothing preventing you from picking up this pawn, right? So, but let's continue. This is still a good move. It's not bad. It's not losing. Tobe is already a whole bishop down. Although now that I see that the reason he played this move, he believed that this move will, when he made this move, he believed that this move will prevent him from the check. So in case White tries to, maybe if he plays anything now, and in case White tries to check from here, he can easily go back and continue the game. So, but still, like I said, the other option was way better. Now, from here, Vega captured a pawn, which is a smart thing to do, and Tobe tried to complete his development, but there's no way you can complete your development again. This is this is this is this is horrifying to look at, to say the least. This is slow. I would have, like, please just resign. Please do not drag your pain even further. Just resign. Just resign. Just resign. Vega made all the right moves. Of course, who wouldn't when you are practically a bishop up? But let me see. Let me see. There's this move. Let me see from here. Good. From here, after to be captured the pawn, Vega played c3. Why you play c3? Why are you playing c3? I mean, there is literally bishop to d2. That's the first way to checkmate and castle, because in as much as he's a bishop down, or this thing is you, that does not mean you should leave your queen in the middle or in the center of the game. Now he cannot take this pawn, because once he does, his queen is gone, right? Then he might finally decide to save us this long session and resign. But so he cannot take that pawn. That one is ruled out. And it even sets a good trap, just in case he decides to capture the pawn. It sets a good trap. So bishop to d2 was the best move Vega would have come up with in this situation. This is the best move Vega would have come up with in this situation, but he didn't. Now let's continue from where we stopped, and the rest, as we know it, or as they say, is history. So he castled, and they tried to drag the game on, but the inevitable happened. It was just slow, but it happened at the end of the day, and he resigned. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a lesson in your opening. Okay, when you open your piece, try not to get your pieces trapped. Try not to be too greedy. Look well before you leap. There are some moves that you make and you know that you're just in a trap. From here, if he had thought, okay, from here, if he had thought about the consequence of playing bishop to e4, if he had thought of it that f3 is a horror move, will become a horror move for black, then maybe it would have dawned on him to retreat. And retreating gives you a proper fighting chance. At least you know that you stand a chance. From here, you can just shamefully, quietly continue your game. No matter what White plays, you can just shamefully, quietly continue your game, lock it up, and play. Your pieces are not developed. I don't see how you plan on winning it, sincerely speaking, but it's still better than whatsoever you're coming up with. So thank you very much. Later on, we'll discuss the caro-kann. We'll discuss it very well. We'll discuss it extensively, how to and how not to play the caro-kann. Hey, please subscribe to this channel. I'm still trying to grow and improve my analysis. This thing. The timer is not showing today again. By tomorrow, I'll try to fix it.